Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a not quite midnight edition with loud music episode of the Missing Wolves post-game live stream podcast thing. I'm Andrew Dukowitz from Zone Coverage, and we got Duke Schindler. I didn't ask you, and I immediately started doubting myself.
It's
from
the movie.
Valley Live News. How's it going, man?
Doing good. We actually just got back from a trip from Arizona. Saw a couple of the boys, had a great time. Watched the Wolves beat the crap out of the Hawks. We'll forget the last game, the game before that, but the Hawks game was great. Flew back in, got right on the pod, and here we are, another Wolves dub, two in a row, Andrew, after what felt like almost the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, they lose 3 in a row, and it did kind of feel like the end of the world. Like Rudy throws a hand grenade in the locker room. The next game, there's just not any flow to the offense. I think everyone's kind of sitting there going like, oh my gosh, like they have a back-to-back tomorrow, and then they play Portland, a team that like actually tries. Like this could be kind of the end of the season. But then the Wolves just kind of do that thing where they just click it into gear and they're right back. They get you bought right back in. I mean, in a way, I know it's frustrating for fans, but also like how encouraging is it that they finish the last 2 games off like this?
It's extremely encouraging, I can tell you that much. And obviously we're going to remember this as the Julian Phillips Tomahawk Slam game. I don't know what else happened during this game. We just won and Julian Phillips got on the floor. But no, it's everything we needed out of the Wolves heading into this break. Because could you imagine if we were already on that 3-game losing streak, lost 2 more heading into the break? Thankfully, this Wolves team, no matter how much they can anger you or just grind your gears with the effort thing, with missing shots, wide open shots, there are just games where they look so good, like tonight, where Jaden McDaniels just splendid to watch. 6 of 8 in the first half. 2 of 2 from 3, a steal, a block, an assist, 3 rebounds. I mean, that can't say enough about that guy coming out of the gates and making a statement. Then on a night where Ant really wasn't himself, he had that illness. You could see he missed just a little step there. Thank goodness it wasn't one of those nights where we had to smash that Anthony Edwards button. It was Julius all the way from 19 and heading into the third to then 41 to end it. 41 to end it. 41 to end it. Just impressive stuff from this team, especially when your star isn't at his best physically or just wellness wise. So mature win for this team. Let's say that.
That's the thing. Like I think I said it after the third quarter of just like this was a competent, like professional performance. Like, and we haven't been able to say that a ton. And I want to talk about Julius. First off, Nat finally catching a stream from the start. Happy you're here. And Pack Mentality, nice to see you in here as well. Like to me, it's just I think we always undersell it. And even myself, like being around the team, covering the team, we always undersell how miserable the trade deadline is for certain guys. And like it's not lost on me that the trade deadline ends and then less than a week later Julian is dropping 41 points and looks right back to where he was before all of the Giannis stuff happened. I mean, I do think I think it might just be as simple as that. Is like for a month it just kind of probably sucked to be Julius of like, where am I going to move my family? Do I have to live in Milwaukee? Like what's happening? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it too much now that we're kind of on the other side of it and he's looking great again. But like Finch even mentioned it in the post-game press conference of just like it sucked for everybody that the trade deadline was here, which what are your thoughts on that? Especially like, again, given that the last 2 games, Julius has been like really good.
Yeah, and on top of that too, like I tweeted out, this team may not look good until the end of the trade deadline because that's just kind of how it is with this team. I mean, the current characters we do have on this team. You got your Juliuses who's talked about publicly, like, hey, I can get in some moods sometimes. I just have to make sure I break myself out of that. Nas can certainly get a little bit in his head as well. Jaden, surprisingly, he was the most consistent one. I'd even say Ant was a little affected by the trade deadline.
Jaden's just
Wondering,
a vibe.
yeah, and love that guy. Love that guy. Would do anything. But then Ant, even too, I would say he doesn't know who his teammates are going to be post trade deadline, and he might lose two of his best friends in Jaden and Nas. So I even saw that affect Ant as well. But I had just as much confidence as ever to get out of this trade deadline and just really figure it out. That that big loss we had prior to the Hawks game didn't really against Kawhi and the Clippers didn't really had me reeling by any means, but it didn't look good. I just thankfully the Hawks game happened where I was like, okay, we're back in the game. This team can really, I'll say it once, I said a million times, this team can beat anyone when they try.
It's crazy that that's kind of the like through line of it is like when they are trying and locked in, really good,
ungodly good. Like everyone's in flow, as Finch will always say. Everyone's hitting their shots. Everyone's looking for the right pass, open guy, and taking the shots that they need to take. And that's what's really looked good so far. And I'd even say the bench with Ayo Dosunmu really having an upgrade there as well. We kind of went from Mike Conley and Bones Highland with Naz Reid to now we have Ayo Dosunmu, Bones Highland, and eventually Mike returning. But on that end, your bench, two best bench players, Ayo Dosunmu and Naz Reid. Naz got 2 blocks. Ayo got 2 steals. If you're not hitting shots, that's exactly what you need from your bench, especially for a bench that has also struggled defensively.
Well, and Ayo, we'll stay on him for a little bit. Well, first, real quick, just to address some chats here. Julius Randle windmill slam and falling down right in front of his wife Kendra and his 2 sons was like cinema, as like Kaiden's going crazy on the bench. Like that's just chef's kiss. That'll be in the cinematography. Like that is just, man, someone got that camera shot and they hopefully will make some money off of it because that was just incredible. Nat and Benny, I also didn't know Julius Randle had just like a fast break windmill in his bag. That was obnoxious. But to stay on Ayo, like he's just so fast. And I think when he got traded here, I was kind of looking at it as like, if he can you just slide him in as Mike Conley, have him shoot corner threes, have him run a little offense, shoot a couple above the breaks, and then everything else is gravy. Like you're probably pretty happy. He has been so much more than that.
Yes.
I mean, he's been lightning in the fast break. I mean, what's your kind of 3 games in now? Where are you sitting on Ayo? Is he in your top 100 favorite Wolves of all time?
We're already talking top 25 here. That was based on what I saw from the Hawks game and then follow it up with this performance. Yeah, he didn't have the 20 plus points he had versus the Hawks, but he did literally everything else that you needed him to do. And I don't know. I don't like comparing players too much when they're completely different players, but mentally or just the way they play, he's just the Nikhil that we needed. And if you talk to, or if you're morbidly online, like we are, and you see what Bulls fans were saying about Dosunmu, well, they've said everything that we've said about Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and that's what we're bringing in here, and it's really filled that void. It feels like there was just a little voice missing in that locker room, and I didn't really know it was Nickeil Alexander-Walker until we had kind of what we had this season. And bringing in Ayo, well, it feels like it's kind of filling that void, whether it be leadership style, whether it be just always putting in that effort that the team needs to see to open their own eyes. Like it really feels like he's kind of, I wouldn't say the missing piece. We don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs, certainly, but really a guy that this team needed right now.
It's just so interesting because like Tim Connolly mentioned the Nickeil side of it when he did his post-trade press conference. Chris Finch has mentioned the Nickeil side of it. I want to say Rudy mentioned the Nickeil side of it. Like it is just like Nikhil, and I don't have the exact quote, but we talked to Rudy about like Nikhil's homecoming, and Rudy was just like, I'm really proud of him. Like, even in Utah when he wasn't playing, he was the first guy in the gym, the last guy to leave, like just brought his like books around with him everywhere. Like, it's just, he's that type of guy. And I get the same vibe with Ayo of just like, he's a guy that just cares a ton. And I always think when there's like a collective outcry from a fan base, like people messaging me as a Wolves writer of like, you just got our Nas Reed, like take care of him. It's like, oh, this dude's like something. Again, we're only 3 games into it, but it sure looks like he might be a missing piece. I mean, 28 and a half minutes today, 12 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, got a couple steals. He's just, the second the ball is in transition, he's gone. Like,
Yes.
that's what they were missing.
And Pack Mentality said it great, even though Bones didn't have the best game, but Ayo and Bones, they really forced this squad to run with them. There was I can't remember if it was early second quarter or late first quarter. Ayo got a steal and he ran the fast break by himself. All the teammates were behind him, so he just pulls up from 3. He says, well, if you're not going to follow me, I'm going to chuck this 3, try to get 3 points. While you guys are still back there, you can play defense. What if I miss? If no one's going to run with me, then I'm going to take this 3. That was pretty like, and if Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert say like, what a bad shot, I'm like, he can just say, come run with me then. Come get the ball. I'm ready to rock whenever you guys are. That's kind of what it felt like in a way.
Bones had one that was similar. Again, it was first half. I can't remember when, but he got the ball on an outlet, and then literally you could count like 1 banana, 2 banana before Julius was even close enough to him. I mean, the other person that I think is going to benefit a ton from this is Jaden. Like, Jaden's always kind of the guy that's leaking out a little bit. He guards on the perimeter. That's why he doesn't get a ton of rebounds.
Lately. He's a sick man with these monster slams. Like, I feel the rage he's been throwing behind these. Like, these are nasty dunks.
I leaned over after one of them and just kind of like looked at the guy sitting next to me and was just like, does he have like something against Denny? Like, usually he only uncorks this stuff when like Devin Booker's in town, like Jaylen Brown's in town. Like, usually has to be someone, Jamal Murray. Like, maybe Jaden's just starting to find little things against everybody so that he just uncorks it. I did ask him about it after the game of the dunks, and he's just like, yeah, I don't know. I just jump up in the air and figure it out. And it's like, Jaden, he's almost too honest.
No. That quote you had earlier today too was just amazing. Where he's like, yeah, I'm just going to be chilling. Me and Nas going on vacation. I just feel like that does not happen in the NBA, even with your teammates. Like, Jaden's a father of 2. Nas is just kicking it. And the fact that they're just like hitting the vacay together is just like the coolest thing. And then I quote tweeted you and said, it would be an actual crime if you broke these 2 up at this point.
I mean, I think, again, going back to the deadline, like I know I for sure undersold it of just like how much that was messing with these guys. Cause like, you just see it, like, the deadline's over. They had the weekend to shake the rust off, and now they look fantastic. And Jaden and Nas are like real life best friends. Like, they are literally going on vacation together over the All-Star break after spending 5 months with each other every day. Like, that's like the best friend in high school stuff where like your parents think that like your guys are brothers or something like that. Like, I just think that had an effect, which we'll find out after the All-Star break. If they just keep rattling these wins off, then maybe there's some truth to that. But at least like right now, it seems like maybe that just messed with these guys a ton. I mean, really, the only guy that hasn't really bounced back is Dante, and he was plus 26 tonight. Like, what are we going to complain about with him?
Yeah, you can say the shot's not going down, but Dante's always been the guy if that shot's not going down, yeah, it's frustrating to the fans, but you also see he never gives up on the court. He's always hounding guys on defense, going for a block shot, stealing the ball, running a fast break. Like, he's always thrown it out there too. throwing his body on the line even when the shot's not falling. But I do you want to hear a pretty funny story about Nas and Jaden too, just to kind of build on that friendship?
Of course. Always down for it.
So when I was down in Arizona and I lived there for a couple years, I had a couple buddies come visit. And this was actually, I was visiting them after I moved back, but we hit up this smoke shop, and the cashier, smoke shop, like vaping and whatnot, that type of thing, by the way. The cashier notices my shirt and he's like, "Oh, you're a Wolves fan, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. I mean, me and this guy, we're just huge Wolves fans." He's like, "Well, after the Suns beat the Wolves against Phoenix in 4, 3 guys came into my shop. One was really skinny and tall. The second guy had dreads. The other one had an afro." And I was like, "Of course, Jaden, Nas, and Dacian." No confirmation exactly on if it was those guys. It fits the description. Then he said, and it lined up with Nas winning 6th Man of the Year. They pretty much bought out like almost their entire stock of backwoods.
There have been rumors. The NBA doesn't test for that. So the NBA doesn't test for that, but there have been rumors that they indulge in certain green activities. We'll say it that way.
Had me just losing it. And then on top of that, I was like, okay, so you had those guys in. Now, who's the most famous NBA player you've had in here? He's like, I think his name was Kawhi Leonard. And I was like, well, that's just my favorite basketball player to ever exist. So I don't know what this guy, what the vibes are here, but that was awesome.
It is one of those things where it's like you just kind of hear rumors, and that is one with Jaden and Nas and some of the other guys on the team is that they indulge, which I have never confirmed. I'm not accusing. It's legal in the NBA. They don't drug test for it, so if that's what they want to do, more power to them. But yeah, Duke, I'm going to send us over to a quick break here. When we get back, I do. There's like quite a few people wanting to talk about Rudy Gobert's free throw shooting, and I have a stat for you on that. So let's go to a break first, though. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard, and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. So Rudy Gobert in the third quarter, 5 fouls drawn, gets 10 free throw attempts, hits 7 of them. He drew 5 fouls in 9 minutes. The rest of the Wolves in that quarter only had 4 fouls. I mean, if Rudy's just able to hit his free throws, which a few people have said he's changed his free throw approach. I hope so. Like, it's honestly like it's just a mental thing with him. Like I'll watch him after practice and he'll hit like 17 of 20 of them. Like it's not like he's a bad shooter.
So he wasn't lying when he said he hits those 85 to 90% in that interview. Okay.
He wasn't. Like he's legitimately, when he'll finish like his like around the basket workout with like Kevin Hansen or Flight, and then he'll go shoot free throws, and like he legitimately hits like definitely 90% of them. I think he might be selling himself short with the 85. And then he comes into a game and he's shooting sub 50% from the free throw line. Like, I don't change your free throw up. Like at this point, it's just a mental thing when it's that big of a difference. But it's like, if the guy has the power to just overwhelm teams, get to the line that much, like he could unlock so much for this offense if he's just hitting 70% of his free throws. I mean, what was your kind of take on Rudy's game tonight?
I mean, when he's on his game, and this wasn't even one of those, I'd even say, Rudy games where he's playing a completely inferior center, smaller center that he can just kind of bully around. He had Donovan Clingan on him, who's no scrub, I would say, himself. He did a really good job, I thought, really anchoring the paint. If there's nothing I really get mad at Rudy about during a game, like, I just know he did fantastic, And for the free throw thing too, I need to take a look at, see if he changed his routine or what, because I've actually noticed too, the way his routine is, it almost feels like he gives himself too much time to think about the free throw himself. He gives it a dribble, couple more dribbles and another big sigh, and it's like, dude, just shoot it. Just, you can make these, just make them. Like, I feel like he gives himself too much time at the line, or too much time to think at the line, I should say. 7 of 10, if he does that, it's going to be dangerous. And I'd even argue that he got those 10 free throws, he probably could have gotten fouled 2 or 3 times more, a call on that, because he gets swiped across the face almost every time he throws up a layup. Just the one thing that still kind of gets me is his hands get so close to the rim on a foul. I don't know what kind of black magic or physics goes into that ball wrapping around, almost going in and flipping out almost every single time. And you saw it on one of those drives too. Rudy just sat there and he was like, how does this rim even do this right now? Like, that's what it feels like with some of Rudy's and ones. If he could just convert those and even get the 2 points and trim the free throw down to 1, we still got the 2 points on top of that. The free throw, bonus free throw, that's just extra money.
Teresa says you have great hair, so kudos, Austin.
I don't use any product. Fun fact. It just stays there. I don't know. I'm just a guy that makes a hairstyle and it just stays.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Godfrey mentions Wolves passing to Rudy more of the last 2 games, 18 against the Hawks, 17 tonight. A couple other people saying, the Rudy free throws, just, holding their breath every time. I mean, the one critique I will have for Rudy tonight is there was one possession in the first quarter where he got the ball. Clingan was guarding like in the restricted area, almost like under the basket. And Rudy had a full head of steam, got it at the 3, like kind of a modified transition thing, and just threw it out of bounds. And it's just like, Rudy, that's the one thing. Like, if he could just attack in the open floor, I think it would unlock so much. But at this point, it's like, are you really going to figure out that with Rudy Gobert?
And when he does, it kind of looks like a disabled baby deer running across the floor. It's just uncoordinated, but it's also beautiful in its own way. Because those are the times where I almost jump from my seat, stand up, and say, "Let's go finish this, Rudy. This is all you." And it's just the hop, step, Euro, uncoordinated, get hacked, and flips off the back of the rim. It's like, all right, 2 free throws for all that, I guess.
The other thing with Rudy, I've noticed the last 2 games, Jaden all season, I feel like has made a consistent effort to pass the ball to Rudy. And I think when Rudy is, when Rudy is expecting a pass, and it's not just no one ever passes to him, he does catch it a little bit better. I've also noticed the last 2 games, Ayo is intentionally trying to get it to Rudy anytime he goes under and does the little Steve Nash thing under the rim. And it's just I can just imagine for Rudy, it just feels good to be kind of involved on the offense, because that dude works so hard on defense, wouldn't you say?
Beyond hard. And back to Ayo for a second. There was that one, I think it was the pat or the finish where Rudy did that at the
Yeah.
like what the rim. Ayo had his mind made up to pass it to Rudy right before he even got the pass, because that's something this team could do better. There's times where Rudy is literally sitting in that paint wide open. If you just kind of have it in the back of your head, see it out of the corner of your eye, grab it, chuck it. That's what Ayo did. Easy 2 free throws. Should have been an and one, but maybe that just rubs off on the other guys too, seeing what this guy does. And that's why I like bringing in, not like a guy that's going to change your whole team, but a guy like Ayo, a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker that can just bring a little different element to it, or at least a vision that gets these Wolves out of their current tunnel vision. And I think that can rub off really easily on this team, because they just love their guys. You already saw Ayo and Ant shooting the crap after talking the crap after that Bulls game, and he's like, "Yeah, well, we beat your butt, so like just going back."
Sorry, Bulls fans. I know that one hurt. Godfrey mentions Rudy should dunk the ball instead of tossing up bunnies. I don't disagree with you. We have asked Rudy about this multiple times, and Rudy is like, I try to dunk it, and we're like, okay. And then he tries to explain to us how it's like really hard to like, guys grabbing on you and this, that, and the other thing. And it's just kind of like, yeah, but like, it would be really nice if you just dunked it a little bit more. But like, again,
brother, you are 3% body fat max. Like, you can power through anything. I promise you can. Just believe, man.
But then it's like you look at Rudy Gobert and he has a 71.4% field goal percentage, and it's like, okay, well,
isn't that just the craziest thing? He leaves like there's so much meat left on the bone, but when you look at the numbers, there's really nothing. There's nothing to complain about when you look at the numbers. When you watch him on the floor, it's like, I mean, this guy could almost be averaging 20 a game if he made his free throws and finished his dunks.
I mean, honestly, I think he would actually be around 20 a game if he just hit his free throws. Let's see. He's averaging.
Yeah, I think he's leading dunks in the NBA too, pack mentality. Like he's at least second. I know that. It's just shocking how many more he could actually have.
Okay, so maybe we were exaggerating a little bit. He averages 11.0 points per game, and he shoots 4.1 free throws. So if he made 75%, he'd be at 12 points. But still, dude's shooting 70% from the field, and it feels like he misses so much more than he actually does, which is just wild, because like, again, I feel like Rudy gets a lot of flack because his mistakes are so loud. But then like you just look at the body of work and it's like, oh, this guy's like maybe the defensive player of the year this year. We'll see if voter fatigue happens. And then on offense, like he's shooting 70% on 11 points per game. Like what more can you really ask for? And it's like, yeah, but he kicks the ball out of bounds sometimes.
You can't complain. When you look at the numbers, it's like, no, like we got a defensive player of the year. And really on top of that too, probably the lead, this stat doesn't exist, but probably the leader in nopes to the lane. When other teams drive to the lane, Rudy steps right in front of it, and they're like, hell no, thank you. Not a chance. Go back out to the three and figure something out with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. And more times than not, you force a bad shot on top of that.
Which is, I mean, I think that's another thing that like is undersold is like Rudy Gobert. You mentioned it. He's like 2% body fat. Like he is the strongest human being I've ever like seen in my life. He's a legit 7'2". And like when you're jumping in the air to try and score over him, not only does he like affect the shots and like sometimes block them, but like I imagine it just hurts. Like it's like a running back running into like a linebacker. Like at some point you don't want to do it anymore. And I think for like a lot of guys in the league, especially like veterans that have played for a long time, they just don't do it anymore. Like you just kind of see them kick it around to the arc or like nope, as you say, like underneath the rim, because like it looks like it's just kind of painful to run into Rudy, which again, Ayo gets traded here. That was one of the things he said he was most excited to be on the Wolves for, was like, I have Rudy behind me, which Like, I don't know. I'm looking at his kind of body of work this year, especially the on and off stuff. He should be the defensive player of the year, right? Like, he just should at this point.
That's the most telling sign. Bring up all the block stats you want. Bring up this, bring up that. This guy's leading the league in field goal percentage if you really want to go there. Now, but on the defensive end, like, he does everything that doesn't show up in the box score. It's been said a million times. I know we've said that, but it's more than just the nopes to the rim. He can still play perimeter defense out there too against some of the best, hold his own and make missed shots, make him bad missed shots, block shots at the mid range.
Just to add context, he defends about 5 3-pointers per game, and opponents are shooting 37% on him. Like, he's a 7'2" center that's
Honestly,
holding opponents to shoot under 40% from three. That's wild.
Honestly, if the NBA wants to continue this Rudy facade of they're just going to cook him if he's on the perimeter, I implore you to go ahead. I've seen enough that this guy can do exactly that. And we've seen it we actually saw it in the playoffs last year. Luka was out there hunting Rudy in the mid-range on the perimeter, and more times than not, he forced an absolutely horrible shot. Now, granted, it's Luka, a couple of those are going in, and they'll still clown Rudy for it. But if for the real ball knowers who look into it or watch the game and see the game, you're like, why are they going at Rudy right now? He's on a heater defensively.
So against guards, guards over, let's see here. So they've played 53 games. So guards are shooting about 2 3-pointers a game against Rudy on switches, and he's holding to 35%. Like, guards. Like, it just, I understand that if Rudy gets a 5th defensive player of the year, you have to pretty much say Rudy is the greatest defensive player in the history of basketball, which for like a lot of people, that's a tough one to say. Like, I understand that, but like, I mean, he's playing maybe the best defense of his career on a team that's not very good at defense. Like, the Wolves, when he's not on the court, are not a good defensive team. It's just, we've gotten into a weird Wolves Rudy Gobert rant right now, but like, it is just kind of maddening that, like, Vegas doesn't have him as a favorite. I think they still have Chet. I don't even know if Rudy's in the top 3 at this point. And it's just like, if he keeps this up, like, the defensive metrics for that guy are going to be insane.
And when you look at the greatest defenders of all time, Dennis Rodman and Ben Wallace, they're offensively, they pretty much average what Rudy is doing right now. Realize it or not, Rudy is going to the Hall of Fame, whether Shaq likes it or not. Rudy probably has a better field goal percentage than Shaq in his career. May have to check those facts, but I would not doubt it if it's close, because Rudy has led the league in field goal percentage multiple times. You had 5 depoys onto that. I kind of want to just I need someone with a lot of pull nationally to say Rudy's the better player of all time over Shaq, and just see what he says.
Because, I can't say
he's in the
he's
social media age right now, and Ben Wallace and Dennis Rodman were on the floor too. People be clowning those two for having no bag offensively, that type of thing. They'd be hearing the same things that Rudy is hearing right now.
Oh, absolutely. Like, Dennis Rodman. I mean, Dennis Rodman, I'm a little partial to, because like, people 18 rebounds a game. Like, but like, you look at like Ben Wallace, like, there wasn't any offensive game. It was dunks and that was it. And he was a bad free throw shooter. Like, even Rodman, like, didn't hit a ton of free throws. He didn't have a ton of range. Like, he was just really good at getting offensive rebounds and putbacks. Right now they have Wemby at minus 280 for defensive player of the year. This is Fox Sports. Chet Holmgren at plus 270. And then Rudy Gobert is 3rd at plus 1900. Like, that is insane.
I'm about to
Wemby, I get, but that guy's not going to play enough games. Like, 1900, like, that's wild. Like, they have Scotty Barnes at plus 3000. Like, I'm now flabbergasted and irritated. I'm now flabbergasted and irritated. Mutombo, that's who Josh Van and Klomp says is the career arc. That Mutombo is exactly the career arc. Like you could tell me that Rudy is playing at age 41 with like, I don't know, who's Cam Thomas, who's the AI comp nowadays, Rob Dillingham again. Like you could tell me that he's playing at 41 on the Sixers with somebody, and I wouldn't even blink. Like Rudy's going to age well, and it's wild the disrespect in the defensive player of the year stuff. Because I mean, this Wolves team is, I don't think it's still current, but I know at one point they were the second best defense in the league when Rudy was on the floor, and they were dead last when Rudy was off. Like that should be enough to just say like, yeah, he's probably the most impactful.
Especially if we finish top 3, top 4 in the West. That should definitely be a factor to take into consideration. This guy, without him on the floor, the Wolves would have to score 120, 130 a game to make W's happen.
It would not
it would
be good.
A show, don't get me wrong, but the nights where we'd not be able to make a shot would have me punching holes in the drywall after a couple monsters.
And don't get me wrong, like that would be fun, and the Wolves would have probably enough scoring power to do it. But like, yeah, it is just tough. And you're right on the Shaq point too. Like it's just, I do feel like there's this narrative around Rudy because he is an interesting character. I'll be honest, never had an issue with him. He's always been kind to me. He's a big Harry Potter fan, so we have that in common. Like Rudy's a delightful person that I've gotten to know, but there's just this national narrative around him that's just like weird. It's not like they're calling him soft or anything like that. It's literally just like, oh, look at this big doofy French guy. And it's like, I don't know. Well, that big doofy French guy is the best defensive player on the planet. Like maybe we stop just treating him like garbage because he's better at defense than everyone else.
Because he cried that he didn't make the All-Star game once like 8 years ago at this point. Like, What are we doing here? Why are we still holding that against him? We all mature within 8 years. I am not the same guy I was 8 years ago. I was a delinquent back then. So I can't say enough about these other guys that come into the league at 18 like Rudy did and mature all the way to this point where he's 33 and can really hold himself together, whether it be press conferences, whether it be not saying too much, but saying enough in the locker room, being that mature kind of guy without blasting anyone in particular, obviously.
Well, and he's just like, again, like he's just a professional. Like he does his weight training, he does his workouts, he's just a really good vet. Like he's there for guys that have questions. Like, I mean, even like the not making an all-star game, like, I don't know. I think everyone has their own like emotional responses to something, but I would much rather have a guy like cry at the podium than like throw a chair through the window. Like, I don't know.
Draymond Green.
Dude should cry. Acknowledge your emotions.
Yeah.
Like I just have never understood the road. The COVID thing was tough. That's a tough one. And
that's the one. That's the one where it's like
that's the one that's really tough for me. But again, to your point, like that
5 years ago now, heading on
5
6
years ago. Yeah, like it's he's learned.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
I hope he's learned at least.
Yeah, I hope he's matured in bordering 6 years, and I'm sure he has.
All right, Duke. I do want to get you out of here at some point before midnight. I do want to give you the floor as well, though. Where can people find you? Please talk about Valley View, not live. Valley View News
Valley
Live.
News. Valley News
Valley
Live.
News Live.
Yes.
Ugh, butchering everything tonight. But the floor is yours, sir.
Floor is mine. Thank you very much once again for having me on, Andrew. That's
being here is just
so much. Chopping it up with you has been nothing but a pleasure. But you guys can also follow me on Duke Schindler VNL. That's my Facebook page. Valley News Live. Follow them on Facebook. I hop on live at random times whenever there's something big on the news happening, breaking news. I'll hop on a desk, get a reporter out there. We'll send out to breaking news. Otherwise, I just do kind of creative stuff that I like on that desk that airs at those random times of the day when there isn't a newscast. Otherwise, if you want to watch my newscast, I am the 4 p.m. anchor. Download the VNL app on Roku, Amazon, bump our numbers up a little bit, but off the clock. Follow me on Twitter, Duke Schindler TV as well. Love hopping on with Andrew. I tweet Wolves stuff, or follow 10K Howls and 10,000 Takes. Those guys have been great to me over there. And I run most of the Twitter page, but also give the Instagram a follow. We have a guy on that posts fantastic meme slideshows after every game and great content, working with all these Wolves pages. It's just so crazy that we have a community like this where almost every Wolves meme page is followed by every Wolves fan. It almost seems like each page has 6,000 followers apiece because people love their Wolves. So 10K Howls, Valley News Live, give them a follow, and appreciate everyone for watching and tuning in.
I will say Wolves fans and Lynx fans are simultaneously the most crazy fan base, but also like the best. Like, whenever someone attacks another Wolves fan on Twitter, you see like 15 comments of like other Wolves fans fighting back. Like whether it's Wolves or Lynx, they love the team enough to know like fun facts about the refs' families. Like, don't go at like accosting refs. I don't condone that, but like that's the like passion and craziness of a fan base that makes it like really fun to report for these teams. And then you're right, like they support all of these pages, whether it's 10K Howls, whether it's Daily Wolves, whether it's random podcasts, whether it's reporters. Like Wolves fans are just so welcoming. Even like new Julian Phillips and Ayo Dosunmu fans, like being welcomed into the Wolves FC. Like shout out to all the Wolves fans out there.
that was always awesome seeing that. And it doesn't matter if we trade for the guy, if we draft the guy, if he's undrafted, we're just gonna be like Rocco Zakarski, second round pick. We're like, wait, that's my goat. Haven't even heard the post draft presser yet. Trades for Ayo Dosunmu and Julian Phillips. Julian Phillips, goat. He's already the best.
Yep, I've already seen new Josh Minot, so like he's gonna need a different. I don't think you can just call him like new lawnmower. That might be weird, but like I do think he needs a nickname. Io probably needs a Minnesota related nickname as well. Duke, like you said, everybody go check out Valley News Live. It is a lot of fun. You do a great job with it. 10K Howls, 10K Takes, awesome people over there. Give them a follow as well. And for everybody that popped into this maybe a little bit late, it will get posted as a podcast tomorrow, the 12th at 7 a.m. If you can't wait until then, it will live on forever on YouTube over at The Missing Wolves, and it will be on X probably forever until, I decide not to be on X anymore. I'll be on X. It'll live there forever. Let's just assume I'll be there forever. Anyways, Duke, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate
needs you, Andrew. We need you. I got to get you on Valley News Live too, by the way. Got to get you on.
Anytime. Just let me know. I'd love to.
Will do. Thanks.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the All-Star break. I don't know how much content I'll be putting out on my own stuff, but I will be around, whether it's K-Fan, Fox, a couple random podcasts. You'll still see me around, but I might hold off on going live until they get back from the break, but we'll see. Thank you, everyone, for listening, though, and we'll see you when they get back.